This is the iPhone 16e, the essential version of the iPhone 16. People don't seem to think too positively about this device, but I've actually used this device as my main one since launch. So let's talk about living with it and why people aren't so nice about it. So I switched to the iPhone 16e from an iPhone 16 Pro, Apple's higher end device. So what do we get when we switch to Apple's discount bin version? Well, it's a phone that comes in black or white, has a single camera, and has an action button instead of the mute switch, making the back and sides of this phone really pretty in a minimalistic kind of way, until you turn it around and notice there's a huge notch instead of the newer dynamic island. There's a USB Type-C port to align with all the other phones in Apple's lineup as well. And this is the first iPhone with Apple's C1 cellular modem. Overall, after using it and looking deep into this device, the 16e really seems to exist to do three different things. One, to update the iPhone SE to the bare minimum standards of the year 2025. Two, to meet the EU's requirement of all their phones needing to be USB Type-C, since the SE used the old Lightning port. And three, as a phone to be the guinea pig for Apple's modems. And it does two of those three things really well. USB Type-C should have been the standard well before the iPhone 15, and the cellular modems in the iPhone 16e works just as good as the one in my 16 Pro in my day-to-day usage. It just lacks that Wi-Fi 6E, 7, and 5G millimeter wave support, and a budget-conscious person buying this device probably won't notice or care about those things. I can't imagine the type of customer buying this is constantly upgrading their Wi-Fi access points, and they're just more likely to wait till it stops working before diagnosing it, getting another one from their ISP, or buying a cheap one at their local Best Buy. Now, the elephant in the room that everyone talks about is the iPhone 16e really an iPhone SE replacement? And the answer to that is yes and no. See, unlike the iPhone SE that updates once every few years, from the rumors, the iPhone 16e looks to be a phone that will get updated once a year, which means it's a revamp of the SE into a yearly budget iPhone instead of a special once every few year kind of phone. On paper, there's a lot to love about the 16e over the third generation SE. Battery life is way better, the OLED screen is a nice addition and makes watching content much more enjoyable, and now the display covers up the vast majority of the front of the phone. There's a notch that, after using it a bit, you kind of forget it exists, but you do end up sort of missing the dynamic island that's on the iPhone 16 or 16 Pros, but it's absolutely fine. Then there's the A18 chip. Well, sort of. I think Apple needs to get better at naming these, because the A18 in the 16e has one less GPU core than the A18 in the regular iPhone 16, which was also one GPU core short of the A18 Pro in the iPhone 16 Pro and iPhone 16 Pro Max. Maybe call it an A18 Essential. I don't know, but in reality, you won't notice much difference in everyday tasks. It feels like the iPhone 16 did, 60 Hz display limitation and all. Where you will notice a difference is when you're playing games. That I wouldn't worry about that GPU too much, but of course this will vary dramatically game by game. But you know, there's also something that pairs really nicely with the iPhone 16e. Today's sponsor, Soundcore, and their AeroClip open-ear clip-on earbuds. These earbuds have these ear grips that keep them comfortable on your ears. They come in 3 different colors and sit in a nice compact case that charges through USB Type-C. Between the case and earbuds, you get a total of 32 hours of battery life. But the most interesting thing about these earbuds is how they look and feel in use. These things are designed to be open ear earbuds so that you can easily hear your surroundings, but at the same time, they're also designed to be comfortable. So when I put these on, I look like I have some nice, cool earrings, but they're also cool looking earbuds. Besides creating a new, unique look, these earbuds distribute pressure really well thanks to the ear grips and make you forget that you have something on your ears at all until the music starts playing. They're really comfortable to wear and stays in your ears during physical activities. I go on walks with these, exercise with these, and play frisbee with my dog with these on, and they're comfortable and stay in my ears the entire time. It also helps that these sound good and get pretty loud, considering that these don't even sit within your ear canals. These have 4 mics for AI clear calls, and you can further customize these earbuds touch functions, create custom EQs, and update the firmware all through the Soundcore app. So if you want to learn more about the Soundcore AeroClip, check out the link in the video description below. The single camera on the iPhone 16e is fine. Most smartphone cameras today are, but the lack of an ultra-wide lens does kind of suck. So with that lack of ultra-wide, you can't shoot up-close macro shots, and most importantly, no 0.5 selfies. You could argue that that's the biggest miss because that's a very well-liked lens, but its removal is also the reason that they were able to fit in a bigger battery. But to me, there is also one other big miss, and that's MagSafe. See, MagSafe allows you to charge your phone wirelessly at a max rate of up to 25 watts, although it rarely stays there long and throttles pretty quickly. So with MagSafe, you're able able to attach different accessories like a wallet, a MagSafe battery bank, or a kickstand, or other mounts. Basically, it's a very convenient thing to have and has been on every mainline iPhone since the iPhone 12. But the iPhone 16e, it doesn't have it. Instead, it has a standard Qi wireless charging rate of 7.5 watts and no MagSafe. The wireless charging rate, it's fine, it's a budget phone, but Apple, would it kill you to include MagSafe on the 16e for the tiny cost of the magnets? Even at this slower charging rate, you'd easily recoup the cost by selling MagSafe accessories right back to your customers, and you'd kind of lock your customers into your accessories ecosystem for their next iPhone purchase. MagSafe is a feature that I personally believe enhances the lives of their customers and is a literal money printer for them. That being said, you can buy a case with the MagSafe magnets or purchase magnetic stickers to do the exact same thing. But stickers can stick out and they do peel off easily, and Apple doesn't explicitly say that it supports MagSafe or even sell any 16e MagSafe cases either. So you gotta go to a third party if you want MagSafe. It's not expensive and easy to do, but still something to think about. Which is kind of funny because this is an iPhone 16 Pro case that the iPhone 16e fits in pretty nicely. There is a slight gap at the top, but overall, very comfortable fit. All the buttons function properly. And you know what? MagSafe ring. And the funny thing is, it supports standby, which is a MagSafe focused feature. So I don't know, maybe that's why I'm confused and breaking out because of it, why Apple didn't include MagSafe on this particular device when the iPhone 12 body, which is the body that this phone is based off of, had MagSafe to begin with. It was designed for it. But besides those minor gripes, everything else about the iPhone 16e has been great. It's everything people like about the iPhone 16, but in a slightly stripped down package. But the 16e is in a very strange place. It starts at $600, which is $200 less than the regular iPhone 16. And I think that's not a great, but not a terrible value either. It's just okay, maybe kind of mid. But hear me out, all right? See, the last generation iPhone SE, the third generation, at release it was viewed as a great deal because it was dirt cheap, only costed $430 compared to the closest mainline iPhone at the time, the iPhone 13 mini at $700. But at the same time, it had the latest chip just like that 13 mini. And looking at those two devices, they were not even close to being the same. The arena that the iPhone 16e is stepping into is, believe it or not, very similar. So why then do people think the iPhone 16e is a bad value? Because since then, high-end phones haven't really changed much, and the mid-range phones as a category are better now than they ever have been. So you can find amazing value buying a 1-year-old refurbished iPhone 15 or 15 Pro with so many more features. Or if you're watching this video in like September, you can buy an iPhone 16 on clearance as they're releasing the iPhone 17. Android phones in this price range are fantastic too, with so many flagship-like phones for less than flagship-like prices. So it's hard to say that the 16e is a good value considering everything else around this price range, both old and new, are really, really good too. So when you compare it to its peers, or even its older brothers and sisters, the iPhone 16e starts to blend into the background. You're able to get more phone for less money, going a different route. And you know, Apple's target demographic for this phone, budget-conscious customers, I don't think they'd scoff at considering used or refurb devices either. Truthfully, it's a good phone. The price just isn't great because those other Android phones and iPhones just make this thing pretty unremarkable in comparison. But what will be interesting is when the next version, the 17e, comes out, will the 16e drop significantly in price, or what will these look like on the used market? Because I think when that happens, these things might shine, and as a collective, we might change our minds on it and see it as a good value once we see it used or refurbished. The idea of this phone for under $400 would have me switching up real quick. Okay, overall, it's an okay phone for the price, but there's plenty of great options out there, and I'd probably look at that first. Or just wait for these to go on sale or refurbished, especially if you're more budget conscious. So what do you personally think? If you had $600 to spend on a phone, would it actually be the iPhone 16e, or would it be a different device altogether? I do genuinely like this phone, but I can also kind of say that for a lot of different devices that would be considered mid-range phones nowadays. Leave all that down in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.